Well, shit. That was an abrupt ending.
But you do.
I don't know. I think I have it turned. I have the music turned off in this scene. Oh fuck. Oh.
Damn it,
Christ.
Dylan.
I didn't touch shit.
Oh well. Welcome to Grumpy Old Soldiers, everybody.
Even
Looks like the connection's good. Cool. So how are you doing tonight, Dylan?
Tired as usual. Helping out the old man as per usual.
Yeah. You're not beating him again, are you?
No, it's the other way around. He's beat me as per JT's request.
well, that's
Now it's not official unless we see it.
yeah.
He can beat you all he wants in private, but it's not. It doesn't count unless we see it.
No,
Yeah.
no, it counts. It counts.
Video or it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Besides, he needs to have practice time.
No, he doesn't. He has.
Yeah, he does.
Himself.
Jim, the darts player, what does he do?
Practice.
See?
Yeah, by himself.
Yeah, musicians, what do they do?
Practices by himself.
Did you say play with themselves?
That's all he thinks of, man.
I beat off.
Hey, Vinny, Devin, Carol, Neil,
Hey, Vinny.
Hey, Vinny.
Evan.
Hey, Neil. It's Cheryl and Devin.
Shut your mouths.
I'm going to time you out again.
Don't you dare, Chuck. It's already bad enough you left me here alone, unsupervised.
Yeah. So how you doing tonight, JT?
Oh, a little bit upset with myself. Forgot it was supposed to be go out and pay the bills today.
Oh, shit.
So now I've got to do it tomorrow.
When everybody else...
I don't know how that makes me feel. I know it makes me aggravated and almost stabby towards Dylan, but
Hey! Leave Dylan out of this shit.
So how you doing tonight, Jim?
Oh, not bad now. I mean, a bad day this morning. I woke up, the voices in my head were fighting with me. My imaginary friend was running with scissors. One of my personalities wandered off. It was just a shit morning. But it all came together.
Yeah.
No, we're good over here. How about you, Chuck?
Doing well. We've got a...
bathroom.
Yeah, we got a bathroom now. And
Look into the modern world.
yeah. I'm tweaking here. Okay. Yeah, we've actually got a bathroom and a bedroom again. I'm not sleeping on the couch anymore. It kind of sucked because the couch kind of went like that with your legs higher than your butt.
Yeah.
And sleeping like that is not comfortable.
oh, come on. I had one of the slats in the bed fall out one night here not too long ago.
Yeah.
Oh. Think your whole world came to an end.
All I had to do was take a pee.
Have you ever been going at it so hard that the top mattress just slipped off the bed?
No, but I've had it come off the bed, you know, where it clips onto the headboard, the frame.
Yeah.
I've had that come undone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christ.
I was holding up a television one night trying to get the leg back on it.
Yeah. Man, I was kind of wild back then.
Shut your wallet now.
If I'd have
Damn
smoked a little more
waterbeds.
before the show, I could tell you a story, but Kelly would kill me.
Gail, my wife, could tell you about the time that I started without her.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
Don't tell me this involves being double jointed.
No, she was on the
Okay,
phone
thank
with her.
God.
She was on her phone with her best friend who was directly downstairs, and
Oh, no.
I said, "You better get in here. Or I'm going to start without you." And then I just started banging the headboard into the wall.
Oh, no.
So what do you
You're
vape?
supposed to-
Huh? Yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh shit!
We're talking about sexual relations, Dylan.
Jesus Christ!
One of these days, after your nuts drop, and you
Ah!
understand the
Oh
whole
my god! I need to go to church.
wonderfulness of a woman.
Okay, move on.
Cheryl broke the bed.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Haven't done that.
Are we supposed to be doing buffets now?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and start, Dylan?
The billet box, the wicked elephant that has Mr. Stevie Marquez's vultures. I've already tried a couple of his, like 6 new flavors that he already came out that he did release on Monday. Those are actually pretty good. Big brother.
Hi.
With a whisk.
Hi, what you vaping on?
Let's see. I've got, for my brother George, I've got the Centaurus with the blaze on it. Yep. And then I've got the Therion with the GT5 on top of it. I have the drop on top of the Squid Industries detonator. And the Cthulhu, the AIO, gotta go. JT.
We're starting with Caliburn. Fun little thing, about beat the hell out of it. We got the intake MTL on top of the Ursa Quest. That's the menthol for the night. And we got the bulk on top of the Gower 21/7.
Ooh.
And that's cleaning up the custard. And then we got the pineapple coconut spice rum in the pulse.
Mmm.
And that's working out really nice. And the other usual, the Aries 2 on top of the Lima. And last but not least, my precious. And it's running the, what is it? It's Fruit Monster. Mixed berries. And what are you vaping on there, Mr. Chuck?
Well, I'm trying to vape on a Cthulhu.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. I just got the RBA section for it the other day.
Ooh.
You can't see that. It's Eden. I can't remember if that's the brand name or the.
Isn't it the one that you were showing me last night?
Yeah. Yep. Apparently, it's not as easy to wick as I thought it was because it's not bringing in fluid, so it's not wicking right now.
Gotta thin it out a little bit.
Yeah. I think that's
Straight pin, dude.
Yeah.
Straight pin.
Cool. And I've got the Pulse AIO with the maybe in it.
There we go, the red, blue, and black. That looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my more reliable one. The build and the mod and everything. And I've got the Stubby 21. And inside of that I've got the Ponty. It almost focused
cool.
on it.
That's too cool, man. 13 mils.
Yeah.
Kind of gives me warm fuzzies and tinglies.
Yeah, I'm vaping at 40 watts, but
shit.
it still lasts. I mean, this battery, if I was only vaping on this, I would have to change the battery once a day. Oh man.
I'm sorry.
So, what are we doing here? That's the wrong. There we go.
Yeah,
I'll meet at Chuck's house and go pick up dime.
Yeah, so somebody dropped 880,000 dimes?
Yeah, 8 million dimes.
Oh, 8 million dimes. Worth
Let me see
800.
if I can pull up the video.
Okay. Worth $880,000. But man,
800. 800,000.
Yeah. 800,000. And if you were to pick them up, by the time you got your money's worth, you'd be exhausted.
Well, they'd kind of be able to track you down easy. Somebody paying for a lot of shit in dimes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it get you McDonald's.
Oh, man.
8 million dimes spilled onto Texas highway.
Right now, but because Toyota is the longest lasting brand, you also get great value for your money.
There you go. Oh, that poor guy.
Look at the dimes everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like panning for gold.
Chuck, Vinny said that was up by him, and then he said work want to let him out.
look at that. Look at the dime.
Vacuum cleaner. The vacuum cleaner.
Damn, man.
Why don't they get some of them 80,000 IRS agents out there?
Make them earn their money.
They're good at squeezing dimes out of people.
Yeah. Y'all remember that judge that let that made the ICE agents walk away out of her courtroom, and then she took the alien and tried to hide him at first, and then she let him go in a parking lot, and everybody had to chase after her. Yeah. Let's I got a little video about that.
Little video.
With the Wisconsin Supreme Court suspending a judge accused suspending a
Oh, can
judge
I just
accused
say
of
right
helping
off
a
the
man
fucking
Yeah.
bat? Just look at her.
Yeah.
My God. Yep. Anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's definitely Democrat.
of
Yeah,
federal
there's no
immigration
doubt.
Yeah.
agents. Milwaukee
The only
County
thing missing is a septum ring.
She looks like a fucking libtard.
Yeah.
Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan was arrested last week, accused of ushering the man through a side door away from agents. He was later taken into custody.
And we are back, and we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And
The guy who put this video together, his name's Devoy Darkins. He's one of the people I watch for the current event stuff.
Of course, it helps you because it helps us. Now, y'all, late breaking news. You know that judge in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who the Trump administration arrested for obstructing justice as it relates to an undocumented migrant? Remember that was just a few days ago? Well, the Supreme Court of her state of Wisconsin has now put her on leave. They have deactivated her as a judge while this entire thing plays out. Now, in case you're not totally
Yeah. Shit, man. How many different ways does that obstruct ICE? My God.
familiar with what we're talking about, let's get you up to speed. Let's just take a quick little look at exactly how we got here.
Meantime, some Republicans are also asking if Judge Dugan should even keep her job. The Wisconsin State Assembly Speaker posted on X saying these are serious charges and it's important to remember no one is above the law.
Yep.
We are reviewing the situation, and if the charges result in a conviction, we will act. Judge Dugan's decision to hide a dangerous and illegal immigrant was irresponsible and put public safety at risk. Now, Judge Dugan is facing obstruction charges after investigators say she helped an undocumented migrant evade ICE agents in the courthouse, then forcing agents to chase him down the street. The Mexican migrant was in court facing battery charges, and he's been deported before.
Yep.
DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin.
Yeah, he's been deported before.
Yep.
He's had due process already.
Wait, so he's been deported one time prior?
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And these libtards are still doing this shit? What
Yeah.
the fuck?
This guy is far from innocent.
American people should know what the charges against him were: strangulation, suffocation, battery, other domestic abuse charges. This is no innocent guy.
So this judge, Pam Bondi, came out very forcefully and said,
nice,
that this judge was not only obstructing ICE in doing its job, but like actually hiding and shepherding this undocumented migrant, right? Shepherding him from place to place in the courthouse so that he could evade and avoid ICE detection. And they arrested her for that. But now the Supreme Court of her state has said, as you can see here, it says, you are hereby notified that the court has entered the following order. It is ordered in the exercise of this court's superintending and administrative authority over all courts in the state that Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan is temporarily prohibited from exercising the powers of a circuit court judge in the state of Wisconsin, effective the date of this order and until further order of the court. And y'all know people are freaking out over this.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all, what is it?
Yeah, she can just put the fries in the bag and get me my drink.
What is going on right now where you have people who are coming out on the side of criminals? Like, I thought that the domestic abusers, I thought the people who were hurting people, who were committing crimes, who were gangbangers, who were terrorists, I thought they were like public enemy number one. But now you have people coming out and defending them.
Activists are also pushing back on Judge Dugan's arrest. Protesters gathered in front of the FBI office just outside of Milwaukee on Saturday, demanding the FBI drop the charges.
Yeah. What the fuck, man?
Oh, you see the big crowd?
Yeah.
They keep that camera down just enough to see heads and then barely.
Yep. That's a bunch of bullshit.
They're 3 deep right there.
At least.
With a message for the FBI, for the DOJ, for President Trump himself. And that message is, drop the charges, stop the raids, stop the deportations.
Or else what?
Oh, yeah. Or else what?
Yeah.
Who are you to make me... Who are you that I should care? I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
But today there was that idiot judge out in, I forget, California, saying that the Border Patrol agents can't be arresting people that have crossed the border illegally, even though that's their job, that they don't need a warrant to be arresting people here illegally.
Yep. Yeah. I can't wait until this is all commonplace and they just shut up.
I just want you to make it make sense. Why are you fighting so hard for this criminal when I wouldn't put up with a guy beating a woman who's American, who's black, who's Chinese? Never mind illegal. I wouldn't put up with that from my own kin.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, because each one of them is a Democratic vote.
Well, you're right. I get that. I guess
to a certain extent, it's a smaller percentage than they thought. They thought if they got 20 million in here, well, just 10% of them will be voting.
Yeah.
You see, their numbers don't work out.
Yeah, that'd be 200,000.
Fodder. Yeah.
On Friday and is due back in court on May 15th.
It's almost like kind of a weird movie where you get a person like Trump, a divisive figure like Trump. Think about a movie, right? A divisive figure like Trump, and he's so divisive that his opposition has to take the other side of every issue, even to their own detriment.
Yeah, they look really stupid over the shit they're fighting about. A lot of it.
Even when what he's saying is so plain common sense that everybody would agree with it, but the opposition just has to take the other side. It's almost like we're living in a twilight zone.
Yeah.
So the Wisconsin Supreme Court suspends Judge Hannah Dugan after federal charges. The Wisconsin Supreme Court has suspended Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan because she was charged with 2 federal counts of allegations of trying to help an undocumented immigrant avoid arrest after he appeared in her courtroom.
Good evening. We start tonight at 6 o'clock with the Wisconsin Supreme Court suspending a judge accused of helping a man evade federal immigration agents. Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan was arrested last week, accused of ushering the man through a side door away from agents. He was later taken into custody. In the order today, the court says it's in the public interest to temporarily relieve the judge of her duties.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Not temporarily. You fucked up. You are a judge. You broke the law. You don't get a second chance.
Yeah.
You have no right to judge me.
No one's above the law, not even Letitia James.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you have no right to judge me if you're going to be a crook yourself.
Yep.
Under the Supreme Court's order, Dugan is not allowed to carry out her responsibilities as a Milwaukee County judge beginning April 29th until further order of the court. Dugan will continue to be paid her $174,000. Still gonna get her 175 bones though, y'all. So I guess that's good for her. Now, y'all, other judges, at least one other judge, I'm not gonna say judges plural, at least one other judge has come out in solidarity with Dugan and said, look, I might not even come to work anymore while all this is going on. Check this out.
Hi, Anita. Well, there's new fallout with one Wisconsin judge now threatening to not hold court in protest of Judge Hannah Dugan's arrest. Now, that email was obtained.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't go to court. Don't do your job.
Yeah, don't.
We don't need you.
By Wisconsin Right Now, which is a conservative news site co-founded by State Rep Jim Pivovarchek. The email is titled "Guidance Requested" or "I Refuse to Hold Court." It says, quote, "I have no intention of allowing anyone to be taken out of my courtroom by ICE and sent to a concentration camp, especially without due process."
Do you know why they do that? Why they like to get them in court? It's safer, because if they go pick them up at home, a lot of things can go wrong.
Yep.
In the meantime, y'all, Dugan has retained a top conservative lawyer to help. That's kind of smart, isn't it? So a Wisconsin judge, that's Dugan, charged with helping a man in her court briefly evade immigration authorities, has added prominent conservative lawyer and leading Supreme Court advocate Paul Clement to her defense team. So it's kind of like a judge is made for this, right? She's probably, on one hand, she's probably like, I can't believe they did this to me. But she's a judge, she's a lawyer. On the other hand, she's probably like, yeah, let's fight. You know what I mean? Clement, a U.S. Solicitor General during the Republican administration of George W. Bush, has argued more than 100 cases before the Supreme Court, and he has clashed with the Trump administration in other cases, y'all. So this is...
They've got some stupid people in Wisconsin, and Terry wasn't one of them.
This is actually shaping up to be a legal Royal Rumble, y'all. Oh my goodness. So I'd like to know, what do y'all think? What do you think is going to be the outcome of this? I mean, listen, we have this whole saying that's going around now. It's really popular. Nobody's above the law, right? Nobody's above the law. So the judge shouldn't be above the law. Nobody should be above the law, right? But on one hand, it's like, look, if you are doing this and it's against the law, it's against the law. But then on the other hand, it's like, ooh, it's kind of dicey once you start locking up judges, right? I'd like to know what y'all think. Let me know in the...
Yeah. Yeah, tell that other judge just don't even bother coming into work.
Yeah, no, go ahead. But make it make sense. Why? Why the criminals? Why George Floyd? Why the other guy there, the hands up, don't shoot guy?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's part of the script that they wrote with Little Queen Berry all these years ago.
Oh,
Even
man.
Dylan's not that silly.
What?
It's true.
Yeah, see, if you was paying attention, you'd know.
I know it.
Dylan, go take care of that shit.
Dylan.
Are you sure you don't have to get Dave coffee?
Nah. He told me after the show.
I think he's being too easy on you.
No. Not really.
With
Troy, you
Wisconsin.
fix your mouth.
Let me see if I can find. Oh no, that's not it. I want to find the video I have about what Letitia James is in trouble for now. Oh, here's a good one. 1 second. She's a slumlord too.
Hey, Troy.
Hey, Troy.
Tonight, a vocal political adversary of New York's Attorney General filed a letter of complaint with the state's second judicial district, urging an investigation into Letitia James. This comes in light of a criminal referral to the DOJ. James is alleged to have committed mortgage fraud by falsifying documents on 2 property mortgages, one in Virginia and the other in Brooklyn.
Yeah, so she's married to her dad.
Oh, fuck's sake. Isn't that incest?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Ilhan Omar.
And that has Rensselaer County Executive Steve McLaughlin, a Republican who was indicted by James 4 years ago, asking for her actions to go under the microscope. In a tweet, McLaughlin says that he is seeking disciplinary proceedings to determine whether she is fit to hold a law license in the state. He says he believes she is not and that her license should be revoked. I asked him tonight whether this was payback for James indicting him for stealing campaign funds, something that a jury quickly acquitted him of.
Yeah.
I completely believe in due process. And by the way, I haven't been a victim of Tish James's lawfare. I know what that's like.
Yep.
So I'm not calling for her to resign, but I do think that it's incumbent upon the judicial district to do a review here and see if she shouldn't be suspended in the meantime while these charges are pending. Maybe there is a little bit of that.
Should be. I do. And suspended until she's removed from office.
But why doesn't it make sense?
I don't know.
Is that, hey, you came after me. You're fair game as well, Tish. And you shouldn't be out there coming after people on your high horse if you, in fact, are doing exactly what you're accusing others of doing.
Yep. Yep.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and most importantly, please make sure that you are and shed back to New York to speak about who Letitia James, aka Big Tish, the woman that I have been growing to call her now. Now, the Queen of New York, and I'm going to keep referring to her as the Queen of New York, unfortunately, until a federal indictment is brought down on this woman, until she is federally indicted. This is the Queen of New York. This is a woman that's walking around the state doing whatever she wants without any fear of consequences, where the law seemingly does not apply to her. She's constantly engaging in lawfare across the state, and she's just a big bully at the end of the day. And it appears that the idea of her being a bully is substantiated through this article that we're going to read here concerning her tenants finally filing a complaint against her for a lack of maintenance in her Brooklyn building.
This is sweet. The tenants have been afraid to file against her.
Well, the paint's peeling, they got bed bugs and all that shit.
Yep.
Yes. The timing is highly suspicious of when the complaints came down in relationship to the criminal referral. And what this may bring to light is that the tenants in her Brooklyn building may actually be scared of Letitia James. But now that the criminal referral has went out, there's been a lot of press negative surrounding Letitia James that might have given her tenants a sense of comfort to say,
negative but true.
Now is the time to strike. Now is the time for us to be able to file a formal complaint against her, because at the end of the day, this woman is a bully who gets away with whatever she wants to and operates above the law because she's never held accountable. And once again, until the federal indictment comes down, I mean, she's continuing to prove us all right. She's the Queen of New York, who's above the law, unfortunately. But hopefully that is going to change. And I'm confident that it will. I am very confident that it will. But first, let's get into this here, right? Look at this article, breaking. Tenant complaints surface just 48 hours after FHFA refers Letitia James to the DOJ. Let's dive into this article here. For years,
what's your time?
New York Attorney General Letitia
Yeah. I keep forgetting to set my timer.
James has built a reputation as a fearless prosecutor of landlords and fraudsters. But recent events suggest that very standards she imposes on others are being violated in her own backyard. 2 formal complaints were filed on April 16th against Letitia James' Brooklyn property, citing deteriorating paint conditions. The filings appear in the NYC HPD database just 48 hours after the Federal Housing Finance Agency referred James to the DOJ for possible mortgage fraud and perjury. The proximity of these tenants' complaints to the FHFA's criminal referral is striking. The FHFA letter dated April 14th, 2025 and addressed to...
After this, I've got I got an interview with President Trump.
The U.S. Attorney General Pamela J. Bondi outlines serious allegations against James.
Pam Bondi gets mad. She does not like people breaking the law.
Yeah, but I want to see her arrest somebody.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be great.
Tenant complaints surfaced
Jim, don't
in
move.
the
You look like you're an angel. You got wings.
Yeah.
The database. The complaint specifically cited peeling paint in apartment 2B's living room and throughout apartment 1. I want to go into the actual formal complaint right now. So what I want to do very quickly, excuse me, is shift over to the HPD database. So as you can see here, this is the HPD database. All of this is, public information and public knowledge available to everybody, as you can see via the URL here up top.
Started my timer again.
And you can see here, as stated, I'll zoom in just a little bit more. 2 days after the referral was sent out to Pam Bondi, the complaints came down. Here we go, 4/16/2025, apartment 2B, complaint condition wall, complaint detail, peeling paint in the living room, right? But here in apartment 1, you see peeling paint the entire apartment. So in the living room is a bit upside down, apparently, in apartment 2B, but in apartment 1, the entire apartment is falling apart as it pertains to the paint peeling off. And what that goes to show is that there's either absolutely no maintenance happening at all whatsoever in her property, in her Brooklyn property, or when she does do maintenance, she does the cheapest job possible and hires the cheapest.
Of course she does. She thinks she's above the law.
But help possible with the cheapest paint possible.
Damn.
Cheapest supplies possible. She does a very just backwards, upside down job, right? So it's one or the other. But personally, I think I'm leaning more towards just outright neglect.
Yeah.
Just not caring at all whatsoever.
Oh, fuck yeah. You can picture it. I mean, knowing her personality, she never goes to her tenants. She never sees them.
But now I hate to say this.
Yeah.
But if all we're bitching about is peeling paint in a apartment in New York,
Yeah. That's not
really, I mean, I've heard way worse stories. I mean, no heat, no fire escape, cockroaches.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sticking up for her because I really want her in jail, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're making a little bit of a big deal out of peeling paint.
That's true. That's true because peeling paint's really not the most offensive thing.
Along with all the slumlords that
Yep.
do exist, you know.
Yeah.
But now wait a minute. Now I haven't seen pictures of this said peeling paint. I've seen paint peel that, you know, okay, that is dangerous. That is really bad. But I'm just saying, I think we're making a big deal out of peeling paint.
Troy says lead gives it the wow factor.
Well, that's what makes it stick to the wall better too.
Yeah.
Well, it holds up under salsa.
And it tastes good.
Yeah, it's crispy.
Yes, but
Crispy
that
and
name, peeling paint, just wouldn't work for a band.
Christ.
Because what are you going to do about it? At least up until now, right? Since the criminal referral has gone out, it appears that her tenants now feel a little bit more emboldened to speak out against her because now the spotlight is on her in a way that it wasn't before, right? So now they feel a little bit more secure to say, hey, man, our apartments are falling apart here. The paint is peeling like crazy. It's not our responsibility and obligation to buy our own paint, scrub the paint off the wall, start repainting the entire apartment. That's the landlord's responsibility, but she's not doing what she's supposed to do as it pertains to make.
This worries me. I mean, if that's all she's done, if that's all that's been neglected, that's not bad. But I worry that that there's more, and the tenants are afraid to say.
That's what I'm saying. If these guys are coming forward, let's see what happens next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maintenance. But if we speak out against her, Lord knows they'll mess around and find themselves falling under lawfare. So all this time they've been silent.
Yep.
Once again, up until now, up until the criminal referral went out. Now that that has gone out, it appears that her tenants have enough confidence to speak out against her. But now let's hop back into the original article to round this out.
Okay.
After connecting these documents with the FHA referral letter, a concerning pattern emerged. This timing raises questions about whether James' tenants, previously hesitant to file formal grievances, now feel emboldened as their landlord faces mounting legal scrutiny. NYC Housing Preservation and Development database showing tenant complaints filed on April 16, 2025 against Letitia James' property note that inspectors were not able to gain access to
inspect the conditions.
Hang on, Brian, we're not here to talk about your sex life, okay?
Oh, did you take a Viagra and it stayed up longer than 4 hours?
Jesus Christ, Chuck.
I'm not calling a doctor. I'm going to walk around. Got to hang up your coat.
Call my friends. Hey, you ever see one of these?
Hey, I got a towel rack.
inspect the conditions. So they weren't even able to get in to check this stuff out. I'm assuming that there's going to be a time when they circle back around to try and see if they can resolve this issue or at least inspect the property. But up until now, since the complaint was filed, and what are we now? 12 days removed from the original complaint being filed, it appears that they still have not been able to get into the property to inspect. And I'm curious as to why that is. I'm curious as to why the inspectors are seemingly locked out of being able to go around the apartment complex and go into these units and inspect it. I'm curious as to what Big Tish is afraid of. I don't know.
See, now that's where it starts sounding fishy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I believe that she's, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of like dipping their toes in the water with the peeled paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're not letting me in to inspect. What are you hiding?
Yep.
We know there's peeling paint. Show me.
A lot to possibly find out and uncover if they actually are able to get into her property. Letitia James has long fashioned herself as a crusader for justice, especially when it comes to housing abuse and financial misrepresentation.
Yeah, that means she's She loves to get other people for things that she's also doing.
Exactly.
But the growing stack of allegations, including the fraudulent classification of her Brooklyn property as a 4-unit where city records show 5, the undeclared Virginia principal resident, and missing mortgage disclosures suggest a stark double standard. Her office prosecuted Donald Trump for misstatements in real estate filings, securing a $355 million judgment. Now James faces similar allegations from multiple angles, including complaints from her own tenants that expose potential neglect of her property's maintenance obligations.
I wonder if she likes it from multiple angles.
Fucking Chuck.
Formal tenant complaints now on record, and the FHFA's criminal referral in the hands of the Department of Justice, the next weeks could see a dramatic escalation. The HPD complaints show that 2 different units in her building reported peeling paint on the same day, potentially indicating a building-wide maintenance issue rather than isolated incidents. And that's another thing that you have to look at and explore as well. I'm assuming that these people aren't relatives or anything like that, but the conditions are so poor that when they saw that the timing was right to complain, the 2 tenants, you can say, for lack of better words, colluded together to say, look, we're going to strike now.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, now it's starting to sound more than peeling paint.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not just that the loan money's all funny anyways, too.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like it's like, well, you guys start, and if they don't destroy you, we'll come forward with the plumbing, then we'll come forward with the heat.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Busted radiators and all that shit.
Yeah,
electrical problems, windows not closing.
But again, though, it doesn't sound all that out of place for New York. I mean, you watch enough movies and hear enough stories. You hear about the land barons and the slum lords and all that. So this doesn't sound that out of place. I mean,
yeah, but like Troy says here, if it's a rental and subject to FHA, would mean she's renting to subsidized tenants, Section 8. They are very strict with those and have to be kept up. That's why they get a premium rent price.
Yep. That's a very good point, Troy. I did not know that.
But now this is where, like I keep saying, all right, it's not out of place. It happens all the time. But with her job is to prosecute people like that. Again, you have no right to judge if you're going to do it.
Yep.
Oh,
that's the system that needs to be taken down.
Yeah,
it's just two-way system. It's not working anymore, folks.
Nope.
You're not getting away with it.
No more failing upward.
Yeah.
And we have long memories.
I'm glad it's something long.
Here's another good one about Letitia.
I will not bow. I will not break. I will not bend. I will, again, march into this office with all of the individuals who stand by my side, all 800 attorneys, again, defending the Constitution, defending the rule of law, and standing up for New Yorkers and all individuals who believe in our system of government.
57 years after the assassination of Dr. King, and Dr. King talked about that stone of hope.
You don't get to talk about Dr. King.
On top of that, when she has incest or a fucking family member that fucking pull off.
She wasn't actually married to him. She put that down so that they could get a better tax break.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And it's that stone of hope that gives me a fire in my belly each and every morning. It's that stone of hope that allows me to wake up and to stand to Donald Trump and to say, Donald Trump, I'm not afraid of you. I am going to use the law both as a sword and as a shield and challenge Donald Trump.
Tonight, a vocal political adversary of New York's Attorney General filed a letter of complaint with the state's second judicial district, urging an investigation into Letitia James. This comes in light of a criminal referral to the DOJ.
Listen, the documents speak for themselves. The evidence is there.
Right. One of the residences, she said, was her primary residence, so she could get a lower mortgage rate. Reporters have been knocking at the door. The neighbors have never seen her there.
That thing about the lower mortgage rate, that was why she designated that her homestead. But it screwed her up in New York because your homestead's supposed to be in New York. That's where you live.
Yeah. Well, she was also trying to cut a whole floor off one building.
Yeah.
She had.
Yeah, she
The
said
one they're probably suing.
Yeah, she said it was only 4 people. It was only enough for 4 people when it's really enough for 5. But that would make it a business property then, and totally different taxes.
I mean, she has been caught red-handed, dead to rights.
New York Attorney General Letitia James is in some deep trouble. It is coming from all sides. So at this point, Letitia James must feel like she's in a pressure cooker right now because, let's be honest, it is getting ugly fast. She's not just dealing with some online rumors or anger.
Well, yeah, look at her. Look at her.
Do I have to?
Tweets. She is facing some real-life criminal referrals, some official ethics complaints, and it's becoming a full-blown political war. No matter how you slice it, whether you think she's innocent or guilty, this type of smoke you just can't wave away. So let's get into it.
And that has Rensselaer County Executive Steve McLaughlin, a Republican who was indicted by James 4 years ago, asking for her actions to go under the microscope. In a tweet,
Yeah, we saw in the last video that he's in his right mind. He's not being vindictive. He has actual facts.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's not being vindictive. It's following the law.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that he is seeking disciplinary proceedings to determine whether she is fit to hold a law license in the state. He says he believes she is not and that her license should be revoked. I asked him tonight whether this was payback for James indicting him for stealing campaign funds, something that a jury quickly acquitted him of.
I completely believe in due process. And by the way, I haven't been a victim of Tish James's lawfare. I know what that's like. So I'm not calling for her to resign, but I do think that it's incumbent upon the judicial district to do a review here and see if she shouldn't be suspended in the meantime.
Sorry about just showing that again after we've already seen it.
While these charges are pending.
Trouble is piling up. So now this is America First Legal. This is a group run by Trump's allies, formed a formal ethics complaint against the Attorney General Letitia James. They sent this straight to New York's Committee on Professional Standards, which is basically the people who decide if you get to keep calling yourself a lawyer. So as you guys can see right here, America First is a national nonprofit organization working to protect the rule of law, due process, and equal protection for all Americans. We are writing to file a complaint against New York Attorney General Letitia James based on information that has recently made public. On April 14, 2005, the Director of U.S. Federal Housing sent a letter to the Attorney General Pan Bondi and the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche referring to Ms. James for criminal prosecution. They are not playing around. As shown below, the evidence indicates that Ms. James falsified bank documents and property records to require government-backed assistance, loans, and more favorable loan terms. While serving as the Attorney General for the state of New York, Ms. James purchased a home in Norfolk, Virginia. In the process, declared that she intended to occupy this property as my principal residence. This meant that she would be a full-time resident of Norfolk, Virginia. The obvious reasons for making this certification would be to obtain a lower interest rate on the mortgage loan. Mortgage fraud. Additionally, on another occasion, Ms. James appeared to have misrepresented a number of dwelling units in a multi-dwelling building that she owned. She continued to misrepresent the number of dwelling units in subsequent years to obtain additional benefits to which she was not entitled, including a mortgage refinancing through a federally backed lender at a lower rate than typically offered through the private market. Fraud. The money that she received, I mean, again, if this is true, she's going to have to pay that back? Not really good. So their message was simple. We think Letitia James broke the rules investigate her really, really hard. And this is not just some minor technicality. She's accused of mortgage fraud and probably insurance fraud too. They're saying that she cooked the paperwork to get sweetheart deals that she wasn't supposed to get. That's
who is supposed to investigate her? AG of the U.S.?
That's one.
Hope she finds the time.
not just shady, that's criminal. Here's what Letitia James is staring down the barrel as of right now. Criminal charges from the DOJ, losing her law license if the New York Ethics Board decide that she violated professional rules. Because if you can't be trusted with a mortgage application, how the hell are you supposed to be trusted as the top law enforcement officer of New York? If she lose either battle, it's a disaster. And if she lose both, basically it's game over. No more attorney general, no more political clout, just another story of a high profile figure flying too close to the sun for doing stuff basically decades ago. The rules of professional conduct define fraud as conduct that has a purpose to deceive. Ms. James' material misrepresentations meet the definition and call into question her candor, trustworthiness, and honesty. If Ms. James took the actions described in Mr. Pruitt's letter, and those things have been violated, a lawyer or law firm shall not engage in illegal conduct that adversarially reflects on the lawyer's honesty, trustworthiness, or fitness as a lawyer. Engage in conduct involving dishonesty, fraud, deceit, or misrepresentation. Not good. So Letitia is not just fighting one fight, she's fighting two wars at the same time.
Let's skip ahead a little bit.
No attorney general, no political future. This is the classic squeeze play. If the feds can't get you, then the state might. Even if neither puts her in jail, she might be too damaged to survive this politically. So right now, Letitia James is stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Easy, Dylan, you're going to hurt yourself.
Watch her now. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but that comes down to being a New York thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's their problem to deal with. In any case, it looks like they've got enough to do something about it.
But will they?
Yeah.
That's the question. I mean, we can charge all we want. You can indict a ham sandwich, but until you do something.
Yeah.
But let's see. I mean, it's early. It's still, 100 days? Not yet?
Yeah, just now.
100 days.
So, I mean, I still got faith in Bondi. I mean, I know she's slow, dragging her feet, but we still got Bongino. He ain't going to rest. And Patel, he ain't going to rest.
Yep. And Trump said with a lot of confidence that he was going to save flavored vaping. I think he's going to have Kennedy do it because they have the facts that it's a lot safer than they've been saying it was.
Yeah, well, he's got Macari, and he's one of them that was on the side of vaping
good.
Years ago.
Well, the female empowerment space flight may be a total nightmare for Blue Origin. It may go down as one of the biggest PR flops in modern times. Now, this so-called crew is saying they are very offended by the backlash and it is sexist. And they say, hey, we didn't just ride the space capsule, we did research up there. So I'm very confused because the whole thing was 11 minutes. They were actually in space for 4 minutes. So I can't wait to see what kind of research can be done in 4 minutes.
Oh, don't forget they're astronauts.
Yeah. Oh man. And he had to put his girlfriend in there because all these other women were going up. So, well, you know, I don't want her to get mad at me and be jealous. So, Giant Dildo knows all. Yeah, that's true. Those rockets and the image on the side of the Amazon box looks like dicks.
Here is Gayle King.
Damn it, Dylan.
Justifying how she accomplished so much, and her fellow passenger, Aisha Bo, who is a scientist, saying, hey, we did serious business in that 4 minutes.
There's so many things that have been developed in space that benefit Earth, from pharmaceuticals to like research on
Velcro.
Yeah.
And I paused there because we did research, and it was emotional. I mean, part of what I accomplished in my flight was I was looking.
It's emotional research.
Remember when Neil Armstrong come out and said it was so emotional for him?
At the future of being able to produce crops that can withstand harsh environments, so we can look at food security here on Earth. And simultaneously, we also were able to certify that device so more people could do research on New Shepard.
So what?
Okay.
As Privateer Productions in our chat says, 4 minutes.
Jeez, oh man.
But then why did we see all the videos of them floating around having a great time?
Yeah. Ooh, girl bosses.
Playing with stuffed animals, which is what they were doing.
Well, let's look into that research, shall we? I took a look, and she has, in fact, collaborated with Winston-Salem State University, which they call themselves a historically Black educational institution. And according to this release, their project was to bring crop plants on her flight. So presumably, they were in her purse or in a container. We never got to see any footage of the plants. And she says, and this project says, that now the students will analyze how plants responded to microgravity at the molecular level. So some questions.
They weren't up there long enough for them to show any signs of it. Plants grow faster in space, but in 4 minutes they don't have much of a chance.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Damn.
Man, apparently you
Had to
don't
reach in
remember
here.
green slime.
Yeah. They basically went straight up and then immediately came right back down. They didn't suspend in space for any period of time. So where you see them weightless, that's because they're falling at the same speed as a capsule.
Yes, but did you ever notice any of them messing with any control units?
No.
Switches?
Didn't see the plants either.
Questions. Did they actually need her to be there, or could they have put it in like a suitcase and sent that up in the overhead compartment? Or what was her role there? Just bringing them along because she already had a ticket? Also, the footage in the pod showed these ladies mostly fooling around with tchotchke. So does she really do anything while she was there, or did she just carry along those plants and like anybody could have done it? You could have put it in like a barrel or something. And can you really study? This is a good question for Philip, who has a molecular biology background. Can you study exposure to something from 4 minutes in a pressurized chamber? Like, what are we going to get from this? What is humanity going to get from this, do you think?
I think if 4 minutes of exposure to microgravity would affect the molecules in whatever plant she had, I would argue that everybody on the International Space Station is like way overly mutated or is disintegrated. Like I don't see like maybe I don't know. Maybe there's some like research parameters that I'm not familiar with here, but I wouldn't say that if somebody wrote this up as a proposal for research that this would gain any traction whatsoever.
No,
This seems
not at all. 4 minutes, you can pick up some radiation and it's measurable, but that's all. That's all you got. Man. Hey, Jim.
Hi.
You got think you can give us a joke?
I might. Let's see. Joe Biden finally dies. And, he's headed straight to hell. So he's standing in front of the devil, and the devil looks at him and says, "Ain't no doubt, dude, you belong here." He says, "But we're at capacity." He says, "So I'm going to leave it up to you, who you send to heaven, and you take their place for eternity." He goes, all right. He leads him down this hallway, and there's 3 doors. He says, "Now remember, whatever door you choose, this is your eternity." So he opens up door number 1, and there's Obama in there. And he has to climb up these long set of stairs, jump off into a pool of this vile, viscous liquid, climb out, go back up the stairs, jump in, and that's all he does. Up the stairs, jump in, back out. Biden said, "Jesus, I'm not very good with stairs." He says, "I can't do that for eternity." He says, "Now let's go." So they open up door number 2. And inside door number 2 is George Bush. And he's in there, and he's just breaking rocks. breaking rocks. As soon as he breaks a rock, another one appears, and he's breaking rocks, and he's breaking rocks. Biden said, Jesus, I don't know if I can do that. He says, I ain't got no upper body strength. I ain't lifted more than an ice cream cone in years. He says, no. He says, let's see now door number 3. He opens up door number 3, and there's Bill Clinton, buck-ass naked, spread eagle, and Monica Lewinsky walks in and does, well, you know what Monica Lewinsky does.
Yeah.
And Biden goes, well, you know, I probably could get used to this. He says, why not? He goes, Devil says, are you sure? He goes, yep. He goes, Lewinsky, free to go.
Damn. I got to get a fade out for that, because just stopping the laughter light doesn't sound right.
Hey, Dylan.
Yes.
What do you do in case of fallout?
What?
You put it back in, take shorter strokes?
Jim!
Oh, man. Well, that's our show for tonight, everybody. If you want to join us in Zoom, you know the number. Just come on in, and we'll be there in a second. Everybody, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
God bless. Say a prayer for America, please. God bless you.